Have you ever set a big goal, felt excited, and then nothing happened? You got busy, life took over, and that big dream sat on the shelf just collecting dust. If you've ever felt stuck in a cycle of setting goals but not following through, well, I want you to know you're not alone. But today, I'm going to show you how to change that, how to stay focused and take meaningful action over the next 90 days without feeling overwhelmed. Welcome to my Success Coach podcast. I'm your host, Brian Robinson, and I'm here to help you gain clarity, take focused action, and to grow both personally and professionally. If you've ever felt like your goals, your dreams are slipping through your fingers, today's episode is for you. This episode is for you if you start strong on your goals, but you lose momentum quickly. I've been there. If you feel overwhelmed trying to juggle too many priorities, this episode's for you. I've been there too. Or you know where you want to go, but you struggle to stay on track. You would not believe how many other people struggle with that, and I did too. This episode's for you. Or you're tired of spinning your wheels and you want a system that works. Well, by the end of this episode, you'll understand why most people fail to follow through on their goals. I'll expose you to the secret to achieving massive results in just 90 days and get how to get a simple framework to break your big goals into focused weekly actions. Sounds great, right? What I really want is for you to walk away with a clear structured plan to take immediate action starting like right now, today. So before we dive into the framework, let's start with the mindset shift. When we think about success, we often imagine huge leaps forward, right? But let me tell you, real success is built differently, one small intentional step at a time. And that brings me to today's quote. Today's quote is from F.M. Alexander. And F.M. Alexander said, "People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." This quote is powerful because it highlights a truth that many people overlook. Success isn't about setting big goals and hoping for the best. It's about the small daily actions you commit to. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to consistently achieve their goals while others struggle, it's because high achievers don't rely on willpower alone. They build habits that make success inevitable. A 90-day goal isn't just about what you want to accomplish. It's about who you need to become to achieve it. And that starts with setting up the right habits, routines, and systems to make progress feel effortless. So as we move into today's framework, I want you to think about this. If success is a byproduct of your daily habits, what habits do you need to create to make your 90-day goal a reality? That's what we're going to break down next. Let's dive into the 90-day vision framework. This is your step-by-step guide to setting and executing a goal without feeling overwhelmed. So let's dive into the framework that'll keep you on track, focused, and keep you making real progress over the next 90 days. So step one is set one clear vision-driven goal. The biggest mistake people make when setting goals is trying to do too much at once. When you spread your focus across multiple big goals, you dilute your energy and you end up making little to no progress on any of them. Instead, the key to success is to pick one big, meaningful goal for the next 90 days and commit to it fully. A focus goal creates clarity and momentum. It forces you to make decisions that align with what truly matters. Instead of being pulled in a dozen different directions, you'll have a clear destination to work towards, which makes it easier to stay on track and avoid distractions. So here's some actionable steps I have for you. One is ask yourself, what's the one goal that, if achieved, would make the biggest impact on my life or business? Then number two is write it down in a simple but powerful statement. A statement can be like this: in 90 days, I will specific goal because why it matters. Number three is set a measurable outcome. How will you know you've succeeded? So here's a coaching question for you. How can your goal be clear, specific, and tied to a meaningful vision for your future? So now that you have your one big goal, the next step is to create a roadmap. A destination without a route leads to frustration. So let's map out how you'll get there, which brings us to step two. Break it down into monthly milestones. If your goal is a mountain, Milestones are the base camps along the way. So breaking your goal into 3 smaller monthly milestones makes it feel more achievable, and it keeps you from getting overwhelmed. So think of it this way. If your goal is to write a book in 90 days, your first milestone might be completing the outline in 30 days. The second milestone could be finishing the first draft by day 60. And by day 90, you're refining and finalizing. These checkpoints help you measure progress and actually course correct if you need it. So here's the actionable steps to help you with this. One is divide your 90-day goal into 3 milestones, 1 for each month. Then 2, write down the key action you need to accomplish each month to stay on track. Then 3, keep it simple. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. So here's a coaching question for you. If you only focused on 1 milestone each month, would it bring you closer to your goal? So with clear monthly checkpoints in place, the next challenge is staying consistent week to week. And that's where weekly action steps come in, which brings us to step 3, break it down into weekly action steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming if you don't break them down even further. That's why weekly planning is key. It allows you to focus on manageable tasks instead of feeling lost in a huge project. So each week, you should have one primary focus related to your goal. If you're writing that book, like the example I just used, week 1 might be outlining your chapters. Week 2 might be writing your introduction, and so on. When you take small, deliberate steps each week, you create unstoppable momentum. So here's some actionable steps for you. At the start of each week, identify your number 1 priority. Number 2 is schedule 30 to 60 minutes daily to work on this priority. Before checking emails and social media and all that stuff, do this. Number 3 is remove one distraction that slows you down. So here's a coaching question for you. What small action can you take this week to move the needle forward? So now that you have a weekly system, the final step is making sure you stick to it. So let's talk about staying accountable and tracking progress, which brings me to step 4, stay accountable and track progress. So goals don't get achieved just because we set them. They require consistent tracking and accountability. Without a way to measure progress, it's easy to get discouraged and to lose focus. So tracking progress helps you stay motivated because you can see how far you've come. And having an accountability partner, whether it's a coach or a mastermind group or even a close friend, this keeps you committed when motivation fails you. And it will, trust me. So here's the actionable steps for this. Number 1 is use a simple habit tracker or a journal to track daily progress. Number 2 is find an accountability partner or a coach and someone to check in with weekly. And I'm happy to explore if I'm the right person for you. A link to applying to coach with me is below in the description. And then I think I'm on number 3 now, right? So number 3 is celebrate small wins. Acknowledge progress to stay motivated. And here's a coaching question for you. Who will you check in with weekly to hold yourself accountable? Now, I want to share with you a quick story about how I learned this lesson the hard way. I remember setting a huge goal a few years ago, launching a new coaching program. And I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but for me, it was a huge deal. And it still is a huge deal. I was excited, but within a few weeks, I started feeling overwhelmed. I was drowning in distractions and I was second guessing every single step. Then I decided to focus on just one thing at a time. I set a 90-day target, broke it into weekly actions, and I committed to it daily. And I made daily progress. And that shift changed everything. That is one of the reasons why I wrote this episode for you, right? Not only did I hit my goal, but I did it with more clarity and confidence than ever before. And the best part is I didn't feel overwhelmed. It felt inevitable. Felt like the momentum was there and the goal was going to get hit no matter what. So today we talked about setting one clear vision-driven goal for 90 days. We also talked about breaking it down into 3 monthly milestones. We talked about creating small, focused weekly action steps. And we talked about tracking progress and staying accountable. These steps, they might seem simple, but they are powerful when applied consistently. And you have to stick to it. You have to stick to it and get the momentum. And I promise you, you will feel good when you do. If this episode resonated with you, I want to challenge you. Set your 90-day goal today and feel free to email me through our Unstoppable email community. It's free to join, and a link to that is in the description too. It gives you access to me. When you join the Unstoppable email community, I want you to go ahead and let me know. Tell me what it is. I want to know what your goal is. And if you need extra guidance, check out what it will look like to coach with me. I help ambitious people, business owners, professionals stay accountable and make real progress. You'll find the link in the show notes. I appreciate you spending this time with me. Your success is not about doing more. It's about focusing on the right things consistently. You've got this. I know you do. That's why you're still here, and that's why you're here to the end of this episode. Until next time, keep finding your path.